Outside the Assembly chamber, the Mayor is cuddly Ken, always happy to turn up to a community event. But sometimes, even in public, a far less attractive side of the Livingston character rears its head. Once more, it seems, there are very few checks on the Mayor's behaviour.
What did you do before? Were you a German war criminal?
No, I'm Jewish. I wasn't a German war criminal.
Right.
I was quite offended by that. So how did
Well, it might be a bit... Actually, you are just like a concentration camp guard. You're just doing it because you're paid to, aren't you?
In 2005, Livingston compared Jewish Evening Standard journalist Oliver Feingold to a concentration camp guard late at night after a party. When a complaint was made to the Standards Board of England, the only body able to discipline a mayor of London, they decided to suspend Livingston. However, the mayor appealed through judicial review and was exonerated by the Court of Appeal.
I've never claimed that what I said wasn't offensive. It was meant to be offensive because I thought the behaviour of the reporter was offensive.
Livingston was cleared. The Court of Appeal decided he wasn't actually acting as the Mayor of London when he made his comments.
Are there any genuine checks or balances on the power of the Mayor of London?
Nope. And I mean, and that's why he's so cheeky about it and thinks he operates with impunity. And if he tells a joke or he amuses the crowd, then he'll get away with it. And he does.
At times, the Mayor seems to be a law unto himself, whether dismissing criticisms by Assembly members he sees as an irritation, deliberately offending a journalist, or even face-to-face with the people of London. Several times a year, the Mayor is obliged by law to face his electors in People's Question Time. I went down to Ilford Town Hall to witness this and was shocked by what I saw. Throughout the 2-hour public session, the Mayor repeatedly drank from a glass of amber liquid after answering questions from the audience. We asked a laboratory to test the substance he was drinking. They confirmed it was 47% alcohol.
We noticed that the Mayor was clearly drinking some other substance than water, and we've been able to ascertain that at this public event, very public event, he was swigging whiskey throughout.
I think there's a difference between having a glass of wine in the reception room before you go, which I'm sure Ken would handle perfectly right. It's how many drinks.
No, the evidence is that he had a large glass of whiskey throughout People's Questions.
Oh, OK. No, it's not really acceptable, but Ken gets away with the unacceptable. That is Ken.
People's Question Time was at 7 in the evening, but dispatchers also attended 2 Mayor's Question sessions held in City Hall at 10 in the morning in November and December last year. On both occasions, including this one on the 14th of November, he was also drinking whiskey. After one of these meetings on the 12th of December, he told a member of the dispatcher's team, "It's the whiskey that keeps me going. Otherwise, I just cough." Others we have spoken to confirmed that the Mayor drinks at work, despite it being a clear breach of the spirit of the GLA's Code of Conduct. This states that staff should not knowingly take any non-medical substance, including alcohol, in the building that may affect their ability to work. The exceptional use of alcohol can only be signed off by, amongst others, the Mayor himself.
He often would have a drink when he did Mayor's Question Time, when he comes before the Assembly. He would say it was for medicinal purposes, always, because it was in the morning. And I personally have met him in the lift with whiskey in his hand before noon.
The lack of accountability means that there are few controls over the Mayor's behaviour. We've also discovered that there is little control over the billions of pounds spent by the Mayor on London. In Part 3, we look at the organisation known as Ken's Piggy Bank, the London Development Agency, and ask whether some of the Mayor's advisers are guilty of electoral malpractice. We've seen how the institutions designed to hold the Mayor of London and his advisers to account are not up to the job. When it comes to the London Development Agency, known in City Hall as Ken's Piggy Bank, the checks and balances are equally flawed. The LDA is designed to implement the Mayor's vision for regeneration. It distributes £575 million a year to promote sustainable economic development, much of it targeted at the city's poorest communities. To see how the LDA spends its multi-million-pound budget, Dispatches decided to look at some of the projects that it has funded in the last few years. The offices of Euronix Limited are in Stoke Newington. Dispatches has learned that the LDA gave the company £150,000 between 2003 and 2004, but it never filed accounts.
So this is the business address of Euronix Limited. No evidence of any business activity at all, as far as I can see immediately from the outside. Excuse me, sorry. Is there a business here that operates from here? You're not...
The man from the shop next door seemed to have no idea either.
We're looking for a company called Euronix. Have you heard of it at all?
No, I never heard of it, not at all.
And how long has this business been empty, as far as you know?
It's been empty about 3 years now, as I can remember. I don't really remember anybody being here since I've been here.
Companies House records show that Euronix was wound up as soon as the accounts were due. We contacted one of the directors of the company, who lives in Israel, but he declined to explain why no accounts had been filed.
Filing accounts and those accounts being audited are key controls within the company's framework, and indeed that's part of the reason for having companies, that you have that accountability to shareholders. So clearly, if accounts aren't filed on time, then that's something you should be concerned about.
Euronix is not an isolated case. A company in Canada Water called Women's Education in Building received £751,000 from the LDA, but went into liquidation just a year later. Between 2004 and 2005, the LDA gave Music City, based here, £40,000. Within 5 months, it ceased trading. Its financial accounts for that year remain overdue. Overall, according to the LDA's own figures, between 2003 and 2006, they gave more than £1.8 million to companies that have been struck off or have been liquidated. In several cases, the companies closed down in the same year in which the grant was given. The LDA has given money to 20 companies that are not even registered at Companies House, the Financial Services Authority, or the Charity Commission.
Well, I would have expected that there should be something in the monitoring agreement that would actually specify the company being set up by such and such a date. What one's looking for is that public money is spent on the purposes for which it's been allocated, and that value for money is being obtained.
There's also a question mark over the suitability of the projects the LDA chooses to spend its money on. Take, for example, Absen Limited. In the financial year 2004-05, the LDA gave Absen £10,000 to fund research into a vegetable oil-powered jet pod aircraft. The company's address is a PO box here. The company's website shows a glossy trailer of what the aircraft might look like. Investing in projects like this seems at odds with London's other needs.
When you look at what they're trying to do with upskilling deprived communities, I don't think they're getting to the actual people who really need the help. We're talking in the London boroughs, 1 in 4 people have no skills at all. Of that set, 6 out of every 10 are unemployed. So major, major problems, and I just don't think they know who to connect with.
The Economic Development Committee of the London Assembly recently commissioned this report into grant funding given by the LDA. It found a series of gaps in the LDA's records.
We weren't happy with what we saw, basically, and we called in some consultants to give us an expert view. They took the same view as we did, that the processes and procedures weren't great. To be honest, I mean, I really think in this particular incidence that the London Development Agency is about as transparent as a medieval secret society, and that's simply not good enough.
When Ducey suggested further